Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste. Namaste. We're going to begin our discussion of chapter 3. Let's all recite the Sanskrit together. Janame Jayo Acha Dharadharati Shamalam Parivi Rasi Parambaham Yaduktam Bhavata Purvam Vistarat Tadavasmame Kovi Rajita Matiman Pivan Chakti Katam Vitam Shudam Tu Pipatam Rityu Sanay Trin Vato Paved Vyasuvacha Danyosi Krita Kritosi Shiksitosi Mahatmabhi Bhagyavanasi Yadevyam Niryaja De Bhakti Rastite Sri Nurajam Pravritam Sati Dehigni Barjite Brantaha Sivastu Brahmam Kvachite Svesti Dropapat Prapanchamana Rakitam Samadhi Kastamanasa Dayam Devi Swarupantu Kalanginye Sa Atmavan Sabhagya Rakitang Jatam Trilokyan Satracharam Sakti Hidang Jagat Sarvam Sabdip Dvipam Kavarpatam Andam Dasyus Katang Yata Sarveshang Rida Kantare Udasina Sarvalokash Chinta Jarjashra Chetasam Sadadu Kotado Magnam Rogagrastastada Babad Grahanang Devatanang Cha Vaiparitye Nabartanam Adibutang Nadi Edi Devanam Satyababam Ripababam Atasmin and Devakalitu Tarakyakyo Mahasaram Brahmadatta Parodoityo Bavatri Lokanayaka Shiva Rasastudya Putra Sate Hanta Bhavishade Iti Kapitam Mrityusya Deva Devir Mahasura Shiva Rasastuta Bhavaj Jagajarcha Nanadacha Tina Chupadruta Sarve Svastanat and Prachutasura Shiva Rasa Sutta Bhavach Chitama Puduratyayam Nagada Sankarasyasti Katang Tatsuta Sambhavam Asmakam Bhagyatinanam Katang Kakam Bhavishati Itinti Tatura Surve Jamai Vaikunta Maivanta Mandale Sasangsaraki Raki Mekante Sachobayam Jagantatha Jukutas Chinta Turasarve Kamakapadu Jagarti Bhavanistani Monidvipa Dipasini Asmakam Nanagwa Deva Padupik Shasti Nandata Shikshevayam Jagamata Kritasmyasti Sanayacha Lalanita Dani Mathur Nakarunyam Bhaviyatartake Tadade Sajagamatur Niyantra Gunadoshako Aparado Prabhatyeva Tanayasya Padepade Kopara Sakate Loke Kevalam Mataram Bina Tasmadyutyam Parampam Tam Sharanam Yatamatiram Yavyajaga Chitavayatya Sava Karyang Tadasyate Ityadisha Suran Sarvan Mahavishnu Svajayaya Sanyuto Nirchakamatsu Devaye Saka Suradipa Ajaga Mamahasailam Himavantam Nagadipam Abhavascha Surasure Parasharana Kamina Ambayagya Pidanagya Ambayagyamcha Chakrire Tritiyadi Vratanyasu Chakrusare Suranipa Kichit Samadhi Nishnata Kichit Nama Parayana Kichit Sutta Parakichin Nama parayano sukha, mantra parayana para, kichit prana chit dikarita, antaryam agam para kichit nasa parayana, krilekaya parasakte, pujan chakrura tanrita, idhevam bakubhashani, kalo najan mejaya, akasma chetra masinya, Navamyam cha bigodine, pradur pabuva purastas, tanvaha virsruta bodhitam, chaturdikshu chaturvidir, murtima diva vishtitam, koti suryapati kasham, chandrakoti susitalam, vidyu koti samanandab, mamrunam tatparang maham, naiva chodvam natiryaksha, Namade parijagrabatan adyantara kitang tatu nahasyang yanggat sangyasam nachastri rupamatva napurusra tatobayan ditya pidanam netranam teshamam sin nakipate punaschaturya malam ya bhati datisasurat tabatade vatstri rupena Abhiba abadi yambanoram Atiba ramayangin Kumari navayoganam Udyanta pinakchat rujanda Ranidantam prakundabalam Ranikankinat rajalam Sanjim bajim rambekalam Kankakancha the kerura Grevaya kasi vibhushitam Anargyamani sambina Nalakam bandapi rajitam Tanukita kaksan rajan Nilas brahmaka tundalam Nitamba bimba sangbhagam Ramaraji virajitam Kapura shakalo misram Tambula puritanam Kanakana chatakati Tankaba tanadambujam Ashtami chandrabimbaba Lalata Yambayata Brubam Rakta Rabinda Nayanam Unasa Yamaduradaram Kunanda Kudabaladam Gram Muktahara Virajitam Ratna Sambina Mukudam Chandareka Satansinim Malaka Malapi Mala Keshapasha Virajitam Kashmira Bindu Nitilam Netrataka Vilasinim Pasham Kushavara Biti Chaturbakum Trilochadam Raktabastra Paridanam Karimi Kusama Prabham Sarva Sringara Vesharyam Sarva Devatamaskritam Sarva Shampurikan Sarvam Matharam Sarva Mohitam Mohinim Prasada Sumukim Ambam Mandasmin Tandukam Bujam Abhyajakaranda Murting Tadrisu Puratasara Drishta Tankarana Murting Pranim Umu Esadarang Sara Patuna Shaktuvan Nasinchid Dvashta Padsarunisvanam Katanchit Saryamalabhya Bhakyatananta Kandara Prema Supurna Nayanas Tushtu Jagadambikam Om. Let's go back and translate for a few minutes. At the beginning of chapter 3, Janamejaya Uvacha, Janamejaya said, "You have told me that the highest light took her birth on the summit of the Himalayas. Please describe this highest light in detail." So in the last chapter, we were discussing the rebirth of Sati and how she gave up her body in the fire of yoga at Daksha's yajna. And now we're asking about Parvati, the daughter of the Parvati, the daughter of the Himalayas. So please describe this highest light in detail. What intelligent man can desist from hearing these nectar-like words about the supreme energy? Death may come to the devas who drink the nectar of immortality, but no such danger could possibly come to those who drink the nectar of the glorious deeds of the goddess. If you love the goddess and you love listening to her stories, you live in immortal bliss. And even if the gods drink the nectar of immortality, they don't stand a chance. They don't compare to someone who's really in love with the goddess. Vyas said, "You are blessed. You have attained the objectives of human life." Anyone who asks the question, "Tell me more about my divine mother," they are blessed, and they've obtained the objectives of human life. You are learned, having been taught by great souls of men. You are so fortunate to have cultivated sincere devotion to the goddess. Listen, O king, to this ancient occurrence. When Shiva was wandering throughout the world in a distracted state, carrying the body of Sati, which had been burned by fire, he rested from time to time in many places. We recited 108 names of those 108 places. Controlling his 5 senses, he moved his mind into samadhi, complete absorption, and merging his own soul into meditation on the intrinsic nature of the goddess, he lost consciousness of time. Mahakal, the great time, who is beyond time, lost consciousness of time. All that existed was the present. There was no past, and there was no future. All existence in the 3 worlds, both moving and immovable, the entire perceivable universe with oceans and islands and mountains, became devoid of energy and good fortune. No divine mother. Where will their Shakti come from? The bliss residing within the hearts of all beings dried up. Sukya. And the consciousness of all was burdened with anxious thought and the attitude of indifference. No fun being a Vedantan. You just become indifferent. All were merged in the ocean of pains and sorrows, and illness became prevalent. The planets moved in opposite directions. They retrograded, and even the gods suffered misfortune. Of course, if the humans suffer misfortune, then they don't give their full attention with devotion to the gods, so then the gods suffer misfortune. Kings did not maintain an attitude of truth because of both material and spiritual reasons. We have plenty of examples of that in the current era. At this inauspicious time, a great Asura named Tarak, the illuminator of duality, Tarakasura, became ruler of the 3 worlds because of the boon he received from Brahma. That evil one would only be slain by the son of Shiva. Pretty clever Asura. Shiva doesn't have a wife. Shiva is totally indifferent to society, totally indifferent to the world, has no thought of sansar. He's beyond time. He's only in the present. How can he have a son? First, the Divine Mother has to become embodied. Then she's got to grow up into a lady. Then she's got to seduce Shiva into marriage. Then she's got to have a son. Then the kid's got to grow up. Pretty slick boon the Asura chose. Thus, the death of the great Asura was contemplated by the gods and goddesses, but Shiva had neither wife nor son. In this way, because of his oppression, the gods fled from their places and anxiously thought for the son of Shiva. They fled from heaven. Indra left the Indralok. All the gods had to leave their respective places of residence, and they all, having no place to go, came down to earth and moved into the bodies of human beings. And they became servants just like the human beings were servants. They served the ruler of the illuminator of duality with their every action. They drew lines on the earth and said, this is mine, that's yours. And they divided up everything until they were miserable. Shankar, the cause of peace, has no wife. Then how can a son be possible? We are extremely unfortunate. How can our purpose be accomplished? Thus, oppressed with thoughts, they all went to Vaikuntha, the home of Lord Vishnu, and in private searched for the means of success. Why are all your thoughts so filled with anxiety when the auspicious goddess of the universe, who fulfills all desires, is contemplated, is awake, the goddess of existence who dwells in the Monidweep, the island of jewels? Why are you so burdened with thought? O gods, our various thoughts cause this indifference to the mother, and there is no other cause. You're so busy thinking about the world and your attachments to the world that you're not thinking about the mother, and now your indifference to the mother is causing you to think that all these thoughts are really important, and you become burdened and perplexed and confused and miserable. When the mother of the universe gives teaching to her foolish children, she reprimands them out of her compassion only to remove their defective qualities. God, ain't it the truth? Every time she reprimands us, it's because we're so silly, we place our attention and our value system on other things and we forget about her. We become indifferent to her. A child commits errors at every step. Aparada sahasrani kriyantarhani shamaya dathoya mitimamatwa shamashwa parameshwari. A child commits errors at every step. Who else in the world can pardon that except only the mother? Quickly take refuge in the Supreme Mother, existing since ancient time immemorial. By controlling the modifications of your consciousness, grab your mind and bring it here, and make that mind sit still. Control the changes and fluctuations, the vrittis of chit. Be a yogi and practice chitta vritti nirod. She will certainly accomplish your objective. Here is the admonition of the definition of yoga philosophy. Thus advising all the gods, the great Vishnu, along with his consort Lakshmi and other gods, went to worship the goddess. Going to the Devi Mandir in Napa, California, the gods engaged in performing the homa and sacrificial offerings to the sacred fire while repeating the mantras of the goddess. O king, those who knew the performance of sacrifice to the mother began to make fire sacrifices. And all the gods began to observe various vows of worship, like the Tritiya Brat, etc. Now there's a vow for every day of the lunar calendar. This is the third day Vrat that they're talking about, but there's a vow for Shiva on Mondays and a vow for Hanuman on Tuesday, a vow for Varuna on Wednesday and for the Guru on Thursday and for Santoshima on Fridays and for Hanuman and Shani on Saturdays, and on Sundays we can worship the sun and the 9 planets. Every day we can sing the Chandi, and every one of the gods and goddesses and all the rishis and the munis began to practice various vows of worship. Some engaged in one-pointed meditation in samadhi, and some engaged in constant repetition of her names, in japa, or reading the Sahasranam, or in reading one name over and over and again, and making offerings or going deep inside and making offerings in the fire of the Ajna Chakra. Some engaged in reciting hymns of praise of the goddess, and like the Chandipat, or especially chapter 1, chapter 5, chapter 11. These hymns of praise, chapter 4, all the hymns of praise. And then in this book too, in the Devi Gita, we're going to find many hymns of praise to the goddess. And some recited her names again and again. Nam Parayan. Japa Nam Parayan. Again and again and again. Incessantly making japa until it became Ajapa Jap. We were no longer counting the mantras. The mantras were counting us. Some engaged in constant repetition of mantras, like reading the Chandipat every day. Some performed memorials and other ceremonies, like the Shraddha, the Tarpon. We do that in the cosmic puja every day. Some performed an inner sacrifice, making ahuti to the flame of devotion, the light of purity in the Agnya chakra. And some continually established the energies of the goddess within. They did nyasa and pratishta. Some engaged in worship of the highest Shakti, the goddess of the universe, without any sleep or rest. They sit up all night typing books. By the seed mantra of Maya Hrim. And thus, O Janame Jaya, many years of time passed. The 9th lunar day in the month of Chaitra, March, came on Friday. On that day, she became manifest before them, and they recognized her voice. And this is way before Ram manifested on Chaitra Shukla Nobani. This is in the Satya Yuga. Ram is in the Treta Yuga. So this is where Divine Mother manifested on Chaitra Shukla Navami way before Ram took birth on Chaitra Shukla Navami. And that's why the Chaitra Shukla Navami is the ultimate of the Navaratri for Chaitra Mas. And it's also the celebration of Ram's birthday. They just pasted the two traditions together. On her 4 sides stood the image of the 4 Vedas, chanting hymns in her praise. Aham Rudrebiki Bashibhaksharam Yaham Aditya Vishvadevi. She radiated light like 10 million suns, and again like the coolness of 10 million moons. That light was equal to 10 million bolts of lightning, reflecting the highest love. There was nothing above it, nothing below it, neither was there anything other in the middle. From its origin, all we could perceive was light. Just like in chapter 2 of the Chandi, she came rising out of the fire as a blazing pillar of light, and it became a mountain of light, and it illuminated all the 10 directions, and no one could see anything but light. It had no beginning, it had no end. It had neither hands nor other limbs attached to its body. Neither did it have a feminine form nor a masculine form, nor was its appearance of mixed gender. Didn't have any kind of gender attached to it. That light of 1,000,000 suns. Dazzled by the brilliant luster, the gods first closed their eyes. When again, with patience, they opened their eyes, they saw the highest light manifesting in the form of an exceedingly beautiful, divine woman. Striya hasamasta hasakala jagatsu. You are the exceedingly beautiful, young, divine woman. Her body was extremely beautiful, a young girl in the freshness of youth. Her breasts were elevated, plump, and prominent, and appearing as lotus buds, which added to her incomparable beauty. She wore bracelets on her 4 hands, armlets on her 4 arms, a necklace around her neck, and a garland made of invaluable gems and jewels radiated its luster very brightly. Lovely ornaments at her waist made tinkling sounds, and beautiful anklets were on her feet. The hairs of her head sparkled brightly like large black bees shining on the blooming ketuki flowers. Her lovely lotus-like mouth was filled with betel leaves mixed with camphor. Her golden ear ornaments were shining, and she appeared lustrous and beautiful. The crescent moon of the 8th lunar day shone upon her forehead. Her eyebrows were long and arched, and her eyes looked bright and like a red lotus. Her nose was elevated, and her lips were very sweet. Her teeth were very beautiful, like the opening buds of the kunda flower. A necklace of pearls hung from her neck. On her head was a brilliant crown adorned with jewels that shined like the lines on the moon. Her hair was ornamented with a net of garlands made of mulika and malati flowers. On her forehead was the brilliant spot of vermilion made of Kashmira kumkum, and her third eye, which added luster to her face. In one of her 4 hands there was a noose, and in another hand there was a goad or curved sword, ankush. With the fingers of her other 2 hands, she made the signs of granting boons and dispelling fear. She wore a red-colored cloth like the flowers of a darim, the pomegranate tree. The gods bowed down with devoted respect to the embodiment of all love, to she who fulfills all hopes and desires, to the mother of all, who thrusts all into the ignorance of duality. Her beneficence allowed the gods to see the beautiful face of the Mother of the Universe, radiating a sweet smile, the image of infinite compassion. Seeing her, that divine image of compassion, the gods immediately bowed down with devotion, but they could not speak as their voices were choked with emotion. Then, with great difficulty, those devotees began to praise her, with their eyes filled with tears of love and devotion for the satisfaction of the Mother of the Universe. They chanted, Deva Uvacha. Let's pause here and see if there are any questions. There might be some interesting issues that are raised here. Yes, please.
Swamiji, I have a question on verse 19.
Yes.
In that it says that Lord Vishnu says to the Devas, take refuge in the Supreme Mother by controlling the modifications of your consciousness.
Yes.
Which is related to yoga.
Yes.
How is taking refuge and being in a state of yoga related, Swamiji? And does it mean that we just sit in one asana? Is that what is implied here? Or is taking refuge applied to the rest of our lives also?
Taking refuge applies to every aspect of our lives. It means believing in her, having faith in her, serving her, doing what we do for her, and then dedicating and consecrating the fruits of our karma to her. So that's the refuge. Now, the modifications of our consciousness are controlled by the various practices which these divine beings perform, the spiritual disciplines which they perform. Some engaged in one-pointed meditation, some engaged in constant repetition of her names. Both of these are demonstrative of taking refuge in her. Some engaged in reciting hymns of praise, and some made japa of her names again and again. These are all practices of siddhantachara. You see, the behavior according to the scripture demands that we sit for meditation, we make repetition of her names, we recite hymns to her, we recite her names. Some recited mantras, some read scriptures, some performed pujas, some performed Shraddha and Tarpan. Some did the sacrifice outside, some did sacrifice inside, some engaged without any sleep, did big japa again and again. All of these beings were performing spiritual discipline designed to control the changes and modifications of consciousness. And in that way, they took refuge in her. Other questions, please?
Swamiji, can you talk a little bit about Mani Dvipa? What is it? Where is it? We also had that in our cosmic puja.
We have it in all of our pujas to the Divine Mother because Mom lives in the Mani Dvipa, in the island of jewels and gems. Now that island is one of the islands which is situated in the ocean of consciousness, the ocean of pure consciousness. And remember, in the guided meditation, we move our awareness to the ocean of pure consciousness. And then in the middle of that ocean of infinite purity, we perceive the island of jewels. And that's like Kailash is to Shiva, like Vaikuntha is to Vishnu, like the Brahma Loka is to Brahma, the Mani Dvip is to the Divine Mother, the island of jewels. And in the island of jewels, there's a large palace. And you enter into the courtyard of that palace, and there's the tree that gives fulfillment of all desires. And just under the tree, there's a throne of jewels and gems. Excuse me, under the tree, there's a baby. There's a platform, a raised platform, which it contains all jewels and gems, the jewels of all the pure thoughts that we can think. And on that baby, on that platform, on that raised dais, there is a throne. And on that throne sits the Mother. That's where she dwells, in the Mani Dvip, in the island of jewels and gems.
Swamiji, question from Nanda from San Jose.
Namaste, Nandama.
Can Swamiji please tell us what is the significance of the pomegranate? Thank you.
Yes, the pomegranate is hard on the outside, it's soft on the inside. It got all the seeds of all the possibilities within it. And those seeds are all red, and red like a pomegranate. It's very sweet and tasty, nourishing, but that redness stands for a passion for life. So it has all the seeds of passion, all the seeds of desire, all the seeds of all the possibilities that will become manifest. So just as the coconut is a very important symbolic fruit because outside it's dark and hard, inside it's white and soft. In the same way, the pomegranate symbolizes the total possibilities of all that can evolve in creation. Yes, please go.
In verse number 35, it says, her lovely lotus-like mouth was filled with betel leaves mixed with camphor. What is the significance of that?
We always offer the betel leaves after every meal. So we call it the tambul. We offer the betel nut. But actually we wrap the nut in a palm leaf. And they get to chew palm after the gods have been served our meal. So when we make an offering to the gods, first we give them an offering of food. Then we give them an offering of water. Then we give them an offering of sweet. And then we give them an offering of betel leaves. And then we give them dakshina. say, thanks for coming, let me pay your cab fare.
Swamiji, a question from Kumari from Radical.
Namaste, Kumari Ma.
Are the vows which are done for each day of the week also considered sankalpas? Do we make our own vows of worship for each day, or are there specific practices done?
Kumari Mom, there are specific practices done, and we choose which vows we will accept as our own. So there are various vows that we can perform on any given day. For example, on Purnima, we love to read Satyanarayan Vrat. But there's a Buddha Purnima, there's a Guru Purnima, there's a Vaikuntha Purnima. There are many different dedications of the Purnima Tithi. And it's also possible that you can perform the dedication of that specific Tithi. For example, on Guru Purnima, you would read the Guru Gita. Well, now you're going to be caught in what's called the Dharma Shankar. A doubt according to the Dharma. What is my Dharma in this situation? Should I celebrate the Guru or should I celebrate Satyanarayan? If I only have time to do one, I'm going to be forced to choose. And that's a decision that each of us will make according to our own personal inclinations, or following the tradition of our Guru Kul or our ashram, or the way our Guru taught us. So all of these factors will come into determining which vows we take.
Swami Jean has a question. She says that she's deeply saddened by the decrease of honeybees in the country of America. Not so much for the human affliction it might cause because the human beings deserve it, but because I feel it's a result of Divine Mother's compassionate wrath. Most of us have lost our sweet and tender love for her. Are honeybees not particular to Annapurna, the goddess of food, grain, and greenery? If so, could it be that now Annapurna is very unhappy with us for being so late in waking up and maintaining a harmonious life with Bhuma Devi, rather than destroying her because of our ignorant lifestyle?
Jean, Brahmori Devi is the goddess who takes a bee-like nature, and she is not just an aspect of Annapurna or one of the aspects of Shakambhori. She is actually Brahmori Devi. And Srima herself always tells us to become like a bee. She says, don't be like a fly, be a bee. And some of us got curious one day and said, Mother, what do you mean by don't be a fly, be a bee? And Mother said to us, she said, flies flit around from place to place and they always go to the dirtiest places. And that's where they like to stay the most. Bees go right for the nectar. They extract all the nectar and go home. So be like a bee. And don't be like a fly. Be like Brahmori Devi, who has the nature of a bee. The goddess who teaches us where is the nectar for us? Where will we get our nourishment? And how do we go straight to the nourishment, suck the nectar, digest it, bring it home to our hive, and there we will reside with our nectar. Namaste, Rolf.
Verse 17, it says, she reprimands them out of her compassion. Is the reprimand the same as fruits of bad karma? Is her compassion the same as kripa, grace?
Yes, it is, Rolf. That's just what it is. Her reprimand is the best thing that could happen to us because we get a chance to improve. We get a chance to change our behavior and to correct the foolishness that we were performing previously. So that's her reprimand, that's her compassion, and that's her kripa, because as we do, so shall we get. We will enjoy the fruit of our karma, whether we like it or not.
Devin from Washington State.
Namaste, Devin.
Is asking why gems? To me, they are pricey, shiny things that just serve to
Yes, there is, James. The gems of wisdom, the pearls and gems of wisdom, all the beautiful beings that have come to this earth to illuminate an example of purity and clarity and wisdom. These are the gems which decorate her throne. These are the gems which decorate her altar. So she is found in midst of the wealth of wisdom, the wealth of renunciation.
Swamiji, you just spoke in response to Rob's question about karma.
Yes.
But the next verse says, a child commits errors at every step. Who else in the world can pardon that except only the mother?
Absolutely. But she teaches us nonetheless. She pardons us, but she teaches us. She reprimands us so that we'll learn the lesson. And then she says, okay, now go out and choose again.
So mother's pardon means that you get a chance to make the next karma better.
That's right. You get a chance to function in the world with new knowledge. You get to learn the lesson and take that new knowledge and apply it to your present circumstances.
Swamiji, question from Francesca in Santa Rosa.
Namaste, Francesca.
What do the noose and gourd signify?
The noose is a net of harmony, of binding and unity. It is a tool by which we create a unity and a harmony. And the goad is what prods us on to continue our search, the relentless search for self-realization. It doesn't allow us respite until we actually find what we're searching for. So those are the two weapons that she has. She unites us and she binds us to her and to each other. So all the devotees are bound together in love for her. That's the net. And the goad says, move on. Don't linger. Don't waste time. You've got so many important things to do and so little time to accomplish it in. Don't waste time. Move on.
Swamiji, Wendy has a question from chapter 2.
Yes, Wendy, Ma.
In that we say that the Saki's body falls in 51 places.
Yes.
But here we're talking about 108 places.
Yes. And there are different traditions. Wendy, what happened... Now, if you go to any temple in the world, and you say, is this a Shakti Pit? Come to the Devi Mandir and ask me that question. You're darn right it's a Shakti Pit. In fact, it's the first one on every list of Shakti Pits. It is the most Shakti Pit. It is true. So, between the recitation of the last scripture and the writing of this scripture, as sadhus traveled all of India, they found so many other Shakti Pitas. Just like the Devi Mandir became Shakti Pita. So the number increased from 51 Shakti Pitas to 108. Actually, there are 4 lists of the 51 Shakti Pitas, of which there are some 6 to 8 names which are on one list but not on another list. The balance are on all the lists. Now, which names are the ones to be excluded? You decide. So I decided to go to 108 Shakti Pitas. I didn't want to make a mistake. You know how foolish those children can be. So Wendy, for this reason, in this present text, and this present text actually, it's written after the Mahabharata war. It comes to us in its present form somewhere around 300 BC. So I can't tell you which are the 108, which are the 51, which are the accurate versions and which are not. Shakti Pit does not mean it's a great big, massive temple with a government grant that's kept up by hundreds of priests. A Shakti Peeth means it's a place where Shakti was worshipped. A piece of her body fell. Shiva meditated there, and there's a tradition from that time. Whether the temple is dilapidated or is a magnificent edifice, this is not the criteria.
Kumari has a question on verse 24.
Yes, Kumari Ma?
Verse 24 speaks about establishing the energies of the goddess within.
Yes.
Can Swamiji comment on how a spiritual seeker can do this in their practice?
Absolutely, Kumari. The word they use here is nyas. Nyas parayana. Kechid nyas parayana. And this nyas, like anganyas, karanyas, om nang angustabhyang devot matarjani yang svasing mabapyang bosat bong anamika byang hum yap kinishtikam bosat om namah shivaya karotaka prishtabandastaya. It's part of every one of our pujas, Kumari, that we will establish nyas. And also the kavach is a nyas. Also, the pran pratishta is a nyas because we're establishing within. Sannyas is a nyas. We establish truth within, or we establish ourselves within truth. Well, these are ways to establish within. Within our practices, within our pujas, within our pat. We have a nyas. Alone, a samput nyas, a Navarnabidi before and a Navarnabidi after each recitation of the 700 mantras.
Swamiji, verse 27 says, on her four sides stood the images of the four Vedas. And you have chanted the Devi Gita.
Yes.
So, is that what the four Vedas were chanting?
No, they were chanting all the Veda. The entire Veda, the Rig, Sam, Yajur, Atharva Vedas were being recited in totality. Because remember, Shiva lost track of time. So they could recite in totality all the mantras of Vedas, all the wisdom of the existence, all that we need to know in order to be whole within ourselves. This is Vedic knowledge. How do we become holistic, wholly integrated, spiritual beings who give more than we take? This is the issue. And that is the knowledge. So on all her four sides were four Vedas. Is she with Brahma? Yes. No. In this chapter, she is not with Brahma. Brahma is one of the reciters. Yes, please.
I wanted to go back a ways.
Sure.
We had, when we first had this story, when the story began, and there was going to be the Homa to restart creation. And then Shiva was not invited to the Homa and so on.
And
what does that have to do with us in our personal evolution, that whole story?
We can't have a Homa without respecting all the gods. We can't have any kind of a sacrifice. We can't have any kind of a spiritual exercise without demonstrating respect to all the gods and uniting all the traditions and creating a harmony of peace for all the beings. Then we have a religious tradition. That's how we perform our religious exposition. So now, Shiva is Yajneshwar. He is the Ishwara of the Yajna. He's the Supreme Lord of all sacrifice. If you don't invite the Supreme Sacrifice, you think I'm going to worship this God but not that one. If you have that kind of bias, discrimination, then your Yajna will be without Shakti. Shakti will leave you. And you won't be able to complete your sacrifice because you don't have the energy that you need. The spirituality is about giving, and it's about uniting, and it's about creating a harmony. And if you're divisive in your nature and you're unwisely expending your energy and depleting that energy in creating divisions and discriminating and barring one side and accepting another side, you're not creating the harmony, you're not creating the unity, and thereby you lose your shot. You can't complete it. Now, why do we want to create the yajna? We want to perform the yajna so we know what is sacrifice. We can create our creation from sacrifice, not from ego. We create our creation because of love for God. It's a demonstration. The Devi Mandir is a creation to demonstrate the sincerity of our devotion to the Divine Mother. It's a monument to our love for God. And it was created with that bhava and with that intention. So now, by performing the sacrifice in that way, we get to initiate our new creation for a pure purpose. Its motivation is determined. Our intention is defined.
Shiva then, because every second is creation. Also.
Of course. And everything you do. In your business, in your home, when you're washing dishes or cooking food. It's all the intention to create something new. All the intention to create something new, to make it as an offering to the gods. Not just because I want it for me. So that is the application of the story of Daksha's yajna. Daksha had ability, he had capacity, but he had too much ego and attachment. He wouldn't invite Shiva to his yajna, and he couldn't do it with ability alone. Ability alone won't create a creation filled with love and harmony.
Question from Mahesh Chauhan from Helsinki, Finland.
Yes. Namaste, Mahesh.
Mahesh is asking, I have been chanting the Chanda mantra, but recently started to get some very scary dreams. Can you please let me know if I can continue the recitations? I want to go into deep meditation and talk to Mom. Why is this happening instead? Thank you, Swamiji.
Mahesh Baba, Namaste. Every time we begin to initiate a strong sadhana to invite divinity into our lives, the duality, the negativities pop up. And they say, don't call her. She's going to put an end to me. Pay attention to me. Be a servant of the illuminator of duality. Be a servant of the great ego. Look at self-conceit, how happy he is. Look at self-deprecation, how miserable he is. Be with us. Don't go to those gods and goddesses. And those Asuras will say that again and again. Please do not abandon your recitation. Under any circumstance. It says in the Chandipat, the bad dream seen by men will become a good dream. Read chapter 12 of the Chandi, please. And I implore you, do not give up your recitation. It is not the mantra's fault. It is the effect of the mantra bringing up all the negativity so she can cut them down. She is the dispeller of negativities, dispeller of obstacles. She will come to your rescue. When you wake up from such a dream, call on her. Mahesh, Ma, please come and take away these negative thoughts. And in chapter 4 of the Chandi it said, send them to heaven. They'll be happier there than they are here perplexing me. Om Sang Saraswati Namaha. Namaste.